Hi guys, Totallydubbed here, and today I'm doing an unpaid, unsponsored review yet again. But today I'm doing the Edifier W860NB. Now these are wireless, aka Bluetooth, noise cancellation, over-the-ear headphones. So they've got a lot going for them, and the fact that they actually come in at only £120 means that they're pretty affordable in the grand scheme of things. Now in this review I will be talking about these headphones and comparing them to the Lindy BNX-100s, which I realise are only in the UK/EU, whilst the Edifier are coming soon in the UK and yet have launched in the US for $170. Now, to make it a little bit easier for you guys, in the link in the description below, you will find links to the headphones and also its competitors' alternatives that you might want to consider. So do check them out, and of course, if you've got any questions at the end of this review, do ask me down in the comments below. So without further ado, what do you get in the box? Well, you've got the headphones themselves, which I'm going to pop around my neck. You've got a hard shell carrying case, which is quite nice to see and very useful for portability. You've got micro USB to USB cable, an airplane adapter, which you can see I haven't used because I haven't been traveling recently, and a 3.5mm jack interconnect, which can be used on these headphones in order to bypass the Bluetooth and/or be used with noise cancellation. If you were to run out of battery on these headphones, you can use them via a passive mode. In other words, you don't have to use them via wireless, and they'll absolutely work as wired headphones without any sort of added feature. Now the headphones themselves, as you can see around my neck, look relatively nice. They come in different colours. Bear in mind that I know this gold colour won't appeal to everyone, including myself. However, it's nice to see the Edifier actually doing different colours rather than just sticking to a plain black colour. So props to Edifier for actually doing that. When I took these to work, they were actually quite a hit with a lot of people. They quite like the colour scheme. Not a personal preference, but you know, everyone is different. Now in terms of how they look on the head, as you can see, they're relatively bulky, but they're not over the top in terms of, you know, looking ridiculous on your head. They actually look pretty nice. Now, in terms of the headphones build quality, I was very impressed. The fact that they can actually fold in, so you can make them a little bit more portable if you're popping them in a bag. The fact that the drivers themselves swivel in, so you can pop them in the case or again put them in a rucksack is quite useful. The headband adjustment is good, so it will pretty much adhere to most people's head sizes. And also the fact that the pads themselves are very soft, very big, and very comfortable. So the pads themselves are oval shaped ear pads. They fit over my massive ears with no problems, so I'm sure they'll fit around your ears without any problems either. What I did find, however, is the fact that these pads do get a little bit hot. So on a hot summer's day, or if you're going to go on a run with these, you might find that you're going to be a little bit sweaty around the ear. So just bear that in mind, that if you live in a hot country and/or are intending to use these in a hot scenario, then you might want to be readjusting them every now and then, whereas that problem wasn't to be really felt with the Lindy BNX-100. So just bear that in mind. In terms of the comfort of the top headband, it's very soft, it's very nice, it doesn't dig in at the top, and yet it looks pretty nice. It's not too bulky, because some headphones have quite a lot of padding at the top, so it can look a little bit ugly. Now in terms of what you can do with the headphones, well, on the right cup, which you might see the right and left indicator are within the pads, which is pretty handy. On the right cup you'll find a power button, ANC toggle switch, and then on the left one you'll find a micro USB input for charging, which can be a little bit hard to open. The flap itself is a little bit flimsy in my opinion. It would have almost been better served without the flap actually being there altogether, but nevertheless Edifier have included it. Yeah, the charging does work via micro USB, so it's not a modern day USB-C connector, but at this price range it's kind of expected. And then you've got a 3.5mm jack as well. As I said before, you can use these without connecting wirelessly. Now something I will also want to mention is the fact that these have got touch controls. You can simply swipe, and I've got my phone over here that you can just try and see how responsive it is. As you can see, the touch controls do work pretty well in terms of flicking between songs, and it's pretty intuitive in terms of what you have to do. Volume up and down can also be adjusted like so, but that will adjust independently from the source, so your phone's volume won't change by going up and down like that, but rather the headphones volume, if that makes sense. And then you've also got play and pause, which you can do by tapping and untapping on here. So in terms of controls, the right cup will provide you those options. There's also NFC on the left cup as well, so you can tap your phone and quickly connect via Bluetooth. Speaking of Bluetooth connectivity, I was very impressed to see that these support both SBC and the aptX codec. So aptX being great for higher quality transmission. It is slightly a shame that AAC is not included as well, but given aptX is better and superior than AAC, I wouldn't have too much problems. It's just worth checking in case your device doesn't support aptX, that you will be limited to the lowest quality SBC codec, whereas with the Lindy BNX-100s, you can go up to AAC on a non-aptX supported device. So just worth bearing in mind and something worth considering before you potentially buy these or other headphones. Other than that, Bluetooth transmission was solid. I had no sort of dropouts or any problems with that, no interference issues. In terms of wireless range, it was very impressive as well. In terms of its battery life, now this is very impressive because Edifier quote 25 hours with noise cancellation and 45 hours without noise cancellation. Now, I couldn't put those claims to the test, but I can say I did use them without charging them for around 3 to 4 days, and I didn't have any issues of being like, oh, I really need to charge them. So it's really impressive in that respect that they do last a long time, and depending on how much you use them during a week of commuting, you could potentially go a whole week without actually having to charge these. So very impressive in terms of battery life. Charging wise, it takes about 1 to 2 hours. It uses a micro USB connector, so there's no real fast charging capabilities, but yet it's pretty fast given the fact that how much battery life you're getting out of it, so bear that in mind. I would like to mention there is one feature that doesn't feature on these headphones, which does feature on the Lindy BNX-100, is the fact that they don't auto pause when you put them on or you take them off. So for example, if I put them down, the Lindy BNX-100 would automatically pause and then automatically resume when I put them back on my head. This is not the case with the Edifiers. Now let's move on to the ANC performance. Now, given these are ANC headphones, it was very important to see how these would compare. Now, what I did is I played some pink noise, some noises on YouTube through my speakers, obviously taking them on real world scenarios as well, on the tube, which is very, very loud and there's people around you, to busy streets. And what I found is the Lindy BNX-100 were able to cancel out a little bit more sound than the Edifiers were able to. Specifically in the high tones or the high mids to high tones, I felt that the Edifier just struggled a little bit, not really cancelling as much sound as the Lindy BNX. Is it to say this is bad? Far from it. It does a decent job, but it's average. It's not amazing, whereas a Lindy BNX-100, especially for the price, which is around £110, does a fantastic job for the price. So it's worth bearing in mind that these noise cancellation headphones don't do an amazing job at noise cancelling. So it was slightly a shame in that respect, because if they had better noise cancellation, then, well, I would be raving about these. In terms of sound quality, here's where I was very impressed by them, because they sounded a little more fuller and a little bit more exciting than the Lindy BNX-100s. I'm not trying to say that the Lindy BNX-100s were more neutral sounding, far from it. It's just that these were a little bit more capable throughout the frequency range. So starting with the sub bass, you had a better rumble. The mid bass had a really loud sort of impact. However, bear in mind that there was a little bit of uncontrolled sort of tones at the 250 hertz range. In terms of the lower mids, they are dipped, they are recessed. It is to be expected at this price range, but yeah, I wasn't overly disappointed by them. The upper mids were actually very impressive, and really here they kind of stood out from the Lindy BNX-100s. They provided a better upper mid reproduction, and the highs do extend, but yet they do roll off at the very top end. So again, they're not going to compete with flagship headphones or, you know, wired headphones that cost the same amount. So for example, the Audio-Technica M50X, which are wired non-noise cancellation headphones for around 120 odd pounds. They're not going to compare with that sort of level of sound, and those headphones are not going to compare with 300, 400 pound headphones relatively. but in this price bracket for noise cancellation Bluetooth headphones, I think they did a very good job. The soundstage as well provides good sort of instrument separation, a good sort of width and depth. It does feel a little bit close at times, especially in comparison to the Lindy BNX-100, but overall the tonality, the imaging was actually very pleasant to hear. So overall, Edifier have done a good job in terms of the sound quality reproduction, and to me, combined with its build quality and its design and sort of comfort traits, if you take away sort of the heat issue, I was very impressed by the Edifier headphones. And that's pretty much my verdict. These headphones are very good for the price. They're not the best noise cancellation headphone for the price, which in my opinion would be the Lindy BNX-100s. However, the Lindy BNX-100s aren't the most comfortable and don't come in different colors and also don't fold. So there's pros and cons to both headphones. If you want to know more about the Lindy BNX-100s, make sure you check out my review in the link in the description below. But back to the Edifiers, I would say that yes, if you're looking for stylish noise cancellation headphones which do a decent job, but with a fun sound signature and a whole host of sort of different functionalities and great battery life, then these headphones are definitely worth a check out.